In the beginning, there was water abundant, refreshing, providing everything the body needs to replenish the fluids it loses. Humans relied on it as the only beverage for millions of years. Milk was introduced with the advent of agriculture and the domestication of animals. Then came beer and wine and coffee and tea, all consumed for taste and pleasure as much as for the fluids they provide. The newcomers, sugary beverages including soda, sports drinks, and energy drinks offer hydration but with a hefty dose of unnecessary calories that the body may have a hard time regulating. Alternatively, diet drinks offer sweetness without the calories, but does that make them a healthy choice? With so many options, it's easy to be confused about which beverages are best for our health. Follow the links below for an in-depth look at each, but if you're short on time, here's the takeaway. Water is the best choice for quenching your thirst. Coffee and tea, without added sweeteners, are healthy choices, too. Some beverages should be limited or consumed in moderation, including fruit juice, milk, and those made with low-calorie sweeteners, like diet drinks. Alcohol in moderation can be healthy for some people, but not everyone. It's generally best to avoid sugary drinks like soda, sports beverages, and energy drinks. Terms of use. The contents of this website are for educational purposes and are not intended to offer personal medical advice. You should seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read on this website. The Nutrition Source does not recommend or endorse any products. There are many options for what to drink, but water is the best choice for most people who have access to safe drinking water. It is calorie-free and as easy to find as the nearest tap. Water helps to restore fluids lost through metabolism, breathing, sweating, and the removal of waste. It helps to keep you from overheating, lubricates the joints and tissues, maintains healthy skin, and is necessary for proper digestion. It's the perfect zero-calorie beverage for quenching thirst and rehydrating your body. How much water do I need? Water is an essential nutrient at every age, so optimal hydration is a key component for good health. Water accounts for about 60% of an adult's body weight. We drink fluids when we feel thirst, the major signal alerting us when our body runs low on water. We also customarily drink beverages with meals to help with digestion. But sometimes we drink not based on these factors but on how much we think we should be drinking. One of the most familiar sayings is to aim for 8 glasses a day, but this may not be appropriate for every person. General recommendations. The National Academy of Medicine suggests an adequate intake of daily fluids of about 13 cups and 9 cups for healthy men and women, respectively, with 1 cup equaling 8 ounces. 1. Higher amounts may be needed for those who are physically active or exposed to very warm climates. Lower amounts may be needed for those with smaller body sizes. It's important to note that this amount is not a daily target, but a general guide. In the average person, drinking less will not necessarily compromise one's health as each person's exact fluid needs vary, even day to day. Fever, exercise, exposure to extreme temperature climates, very hot or cold, and excessive loss of body fluids, such as with vomiting or diarrhea, will increase fluid needs. The amount and color of urine can provide a rough estimate of adequate hydration. Generally, the color of urine darkens the more concentrated it is, meaning that it contains less water. However, foods, medications, and vitamin supplements can also change urine color. 1. Smaller volumes of urine may indicate dehydration, especially if also darker in color. Alcohol can suppress antidiuretic hormone, a fluid-regulating hormone that signals the kidneys to reduce urination and reabsorb water back into the body. Without it, the body flushes out water more easily. Enjoying more than a couple of drinks within a short time can increase the risk of dehydration, especially if taken on an empty stomach. To prevent this, take alcohol with food and sips of water. Although caffeine has long been thought to have a diuretic effect, potentially leading to dehydration, research does not fully support this. The data suggest that more than 180 milligrams of caffeine daily, about 2 cups of brewed coffee, may increase urination in the short term in some people, but will not necessarily lead to dehydration. Therefore, caffeinated beverages including coffee and tea can contribute to total daily water intake. 1. Keep in mind that about 20% of our total water intake comes not from beverages but from water-rich foods like lettuce, leafy greens, cucumbers, bell peppers, summer squash, celery, berries, and melons. Aside from including water-rich foods, The following chart is a guide for daily water intake based on age group from the National Academy of Medicine. Age daily adequate intake. 1 to 3 years 4 cups, or 32 ounces. 4 to 8 years 5 cups, or 40 ounces. 9 to 13 years 7 to 8 cups, or 56 to 64 ounces. 14 to 18 years 8 to 11 cups, or 64 to 88 ounces. Men, 19 and older 13 cups, or 104 ounces. Women, 19 and older 9 cups, or 72 ounces. Pregnant women 10 cups, or 80 ounces. Breastfeeding women 13 cups, or 104 ounces. Preventing dehydration, is thirst enough? Glass of ice water on black background. A healthy body is designed to send thirst signals when the body becomes depleted of fluids. Thirst is the desire to drink, and is not only driven by physiological cues but behavioral cues. 2. An example of a behavioral prompt is water temperature. Research suggests that people tend to drink the most water when it is served at room temperature, even though cooler drinks are rated as most pleasing to taste. We are also often influenced to drink and eat more in social settings. As we age, however, the body's regulation of fluid intake and thirst decline. Research has shown that both of these factors are impaired in the elderly. A Cochrane review found that commonly used indicators of dehydration in older adults, example urine color and volume, feeling thirsty, are not effective and should not be solely used. 3. Certain conditions that impair mental ability and cognition, such as a stroke or dementia, can also impair thirst. People may also voluntarily limit drinking due to incontinence or difficulty getting to a bathroom. In addition to these situations, research has found that athletes, people who are ill, and infants may not have an adequate sense of thirst to replete their fluid needs. 2. Even mild dehydration may produce negative symptoms, so people who cannot rely on thirst or other usual measures may wish to use other strategies. For example, aim to fill a 20-ounce water bottle 4 times daily and sip throughout the day, or drink a large glass of water with each meal and snack. Symptoms of dehydration that may occur with as little as a 2% water deficit. Fatigue, confusion or short-term memory loss. Mood changes like increased irritability or depression. Dehydration can increase the risk of certain medical conditions. Urinary tract infections. Kidney stones. Gallstones. Constipation. Should I drink alkaline water? Is it possible to drink too much water? There is no tolerable upper intake level for water because the body can usually excrete extra water through urine or sweat. However, a condition called water toxicity is possible in rare cases, in which a large amount of fluids is taken in a short amount of time, which is faster than the kidney's ability to excrete it. This leads to a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, in which blood levels of sodium fall too low as too much water is taken. The excess total body water dilutes blood sodium levels, which can cause symptoms like confusion, nausea, seizures, and muscle spasms. Hyponatremia is usually only seen in ill people whose kidneys are not functioning properly or under conditions of extreme heat stress or prolonged strenuous exercise where the body cannot excrete the extra water. Very physically active people such as triathletes and marathon runners are at risk for this condition as they tend to drink large amounts of water, while simultaneously losing sodium through their sweat. Women and children are also more susceptible to hyponatremia because of their smaller body size. Fun flavors for water. Pitcher of water filled with orange slices and mint leaves. Water is an excellent calorie-free, sugar-free choice. For some people who are accustomed to drinking sweet beverages, water can initially taste bland. To increase water consumption without losing flavor or to spice up your daily water intake, try these refreshing water-based beverages. Infused water. Instead of purchasing expensive flavored waters in the grocery store, you can easily make your own at home. Try adding any of the following to a cold glass or pitcher of water. Sliced citrus fruits or zest, lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit. Crushed fresh mint. Peeled, sliced fresh ginger or sliced cucumber. Crushed berries. Sparkling water with a splash of juice. Sparkling juices may have as many calories as sugary soda. Instead, make your own sparkling juice at home with 12 ounces of sparkling water and just an ounce or 2 of juice. For additional flavor, add sliced citrus or fresh herbs like mint. Tip: to reduce waste, reconsider relying on single-use plastic water bottles and purchase a colorful 20 to 32-ounce refillable water thermos that is easy to wash and tote with you during the day. Water being poured into a glass. Are seltzers and other fizzy waters safe and healthy to drink? Water becomes bubbly through the process of carbonation and is sometimes suggested as a healthier alternative to soda. Carbonation involves dissolving carbon dioxide gas in water under high pressure. When the pressure is released, bubbles form. This process lowers the pH of water from 7 to 4, which is more acidic. The acid level has raised concerns that seltzer and soda water may harm dental enamel or bone health. However, research has not shown that carbonated beverages are associated with dental decay unless they also contain sugar or other sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup. Furthermore, studies have not found that carbonated beverages are associated with decreased bone mineral density. The culprit is more likely the high phosphorus content specific to dark cola soft drinks than the carbonation. Bottom line, carbonated waters, if unsweetened, are safe to drink and a good beverage choice. They are not associated with health problems that are linked with sweetened, carbonated beverages like soda. Related. Harvard Th Chan School of Public Health is a member of the Nutrition and Obesity Policy Research and Evaluation Network's (NOPREN) Drinking Water Working Group. A collaborative network of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the NOPREN Drinking Water Working Group focuses on policies and economic issues regarding free and safe drinking water access in various settings by conducting research and evaluation to help identify, develop and implement drinking water-related policies, programs, and practices. Visit the network's website to access recent water research and evidence-based resources. The Harvard Prevention Research Center on Nutrition and Physical Activity provides tools and resources for making clean, cold, free water more accessible in environments like schools and after-school programs, as well as tips for making water more tasty and fun for kids. After water, tea and coffee are the two most commonly consumed beverages on the planet. They are brimming with antioxidants, flavonoids, and other biologically active substances that may be good for health. Coffee. Cup of coffee. The takeaway on coffee. A large body of evidence suggests that consumption of caffeinated coffee does not increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases and cancers. In fact, consumption of 3 to 5 standard cups of coffee daily has been consistently associated with a reduced risk of several chronic diseases. However, some individuals may not tolerate higher amounts of caffeine due to symptoms of jitteriness, anxiety, and insomnia. Specifically, those who have difficulty controlling their blood pressure may want to moderate their coffee intake. Pregnant women are also advised to aim for less than 200 milligrams of caffeine daily, the amount in 2 cups of coffee, because caffeine passes through the placenta into the fetus and has been associated with pregnancy loss and low birth weight. Because of the potential negative side effects some people experience when drinking caffeinated coffee, it is not necessary to start drinking it if you do not already or to increase the amount you currently drink, as there are many other dietary strategies to improve your health. Decaffeinated coffee is a good option if one is sensitive to caffeine, and according to the research summarized above, it offers similar health benefits as caffeinated coffee. It's also important to keep in mind how you enjoy your brew. The extra calories, sugar, and saturated fat in a coffeehouse beverage loaded with whipped cream and flavored syrup might offset any health benefits found in a basic black coffee. Tea. Tea brewing from tea bags in a glass mug. The takeaway on tea. Tea is the simple preparation of pouring hot water over cured leaves of the Camellia sinensis plant. The flavor of tea varies by where the tea leaves are harvested and how they are grown and processed. Black tea is the most popular worldwide, followed by green, oolong, and white tea. Herbal teas are not made from the camellia plant but from dried herbs, spices, flowers, fruit, seeds, roots, or leaves of other plants. They do not typically contain caffeine as do traditional teas. Animal studies suggest potential health benefits of tea due to its high polyphenol content. Human studies have generally been less conclusive, yet show promise. Observational research has found that tea consumption of 2 to 3 cups daily is associated with a reduced risk of premature death, heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. However, there may be an increased risk of esophageal and stomach cancers from drinking tea that is too hot, 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. 3. Randomized controlled trials are needed to confirm if these healthful and harmful associations are causal. In the meantime, there appears to be little risk associated with drinking tea except for frequent consumption of very hot tea. So pick a color, let it cool, and enjoy a cup. Drinks to consume in moderation. Artificially sweetened drinks. Research suggests that artificially sweetened drinks may contribute to weight gain. Because sweet diet drinks may condition you to crave other sweet drinks and foods, drinking diet drinks has the possibility of leading to weight gain. Moreover, the other health effects of artificially sweetened diet drinks remains largely unknown. It's best to limit them if you drink them at all, and for a refreshing drink with flavor try adding a squeeze of lemon juice to plain water. Learn more about artificial sweeteners. 100% fruit juice. Fruit juice has vitamins, but it is high in calories from concentrated fruit sugars, so stick to no more than a small glass, 4 to 6 ounces, a day. If you're in the mood for fruit, enjoy a whole piece of fruit which is much lower in sugars than its juice equivalent and contains the added benefit of fiber. Milk. There's no need to drink more than a glass or two of low-fat or skim milk a day. Less milk is fine if you get your calcium from other sources. For children, milk is a key source of calcium and vitamin D, protein and other essential micronutrients. The ideal amount of milk and calcium isn't exactly clear, but no more than 2 glasses per day appears to provide sufficient nutrition without being excessive. Learn more about milk and other dairy products. Alcohol. Moderate drinking can be healthy, but not for everyone. You must weigh the benefits and risks, that's why it's not included on the healthy eating plate. Non-drinkers shouldn't feel that they need to start drinking. Isn't alcohol supposed to be good for you in small amounts? For some people, alcohol consumption can offer health benefits, whereas for others alcohol may pose risks. Learn more about the risks and benefits of alcohol. Do some types of alcohol offer greater benefits than others? Some studies have suggested that red wine, particularly when consumed with a meal, offers more cardiovascular benefits than beer or spirits. Despite the healthful compounds identified in red wine, epidemiological studies have not confirmed that a specific type of alcoholic drink, whether wine, beer, or spirits, reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. Terms of use. The contents of this website are for educational purposes and are not intended to offer personal medical advice. You should seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read. Sugary drinks. Sugary drinks, also categorized as sugar-sweetened beverages or soft drinks, refer to any beverage with added sugar or other sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, fruit juice concentrates, and more. This includes soda, pop, cola, tonic, fruit punch, lemonade, and other aids, sweetened powdered drinks, as well as sports and energy drinks. As a category, these beverages are the single largest source of calories and added sugar in the U.S. diet. 2. In other parts of the world, particularly developing countries, sugary drink consumption is rising dramatically due to widespread urbanization and beverage marketing. 3. Pile of sugar cubes. How sweet is it? There are 4.2 grams of sugar in a single teaspoon. Now, imagine scooping up 7 to 10 teaspoons full of sugar and dumping it into your 12-ounce glass of water. Does that sound too sweet? You may be surprised to learn that's how much added sugar is in the typical can of soda. This can be a useful tip to visualize just how much sugar is in your drink. To get you started, we've prepared a handy guide to the amount of sugar and calories in popular beverages. Aside from soda, energy drinks have as much sugar as soft drinks, enough caffeine to raise your blood pressure, and additives whose long-term health effects are unknown. For these reasons, it's best to skip energy drinks. The guide includes sports beverages as well. Although designed to give athletes carbohydrates, electrolytes, and fluid during high-intensity workouts that last 1 hour or more, for everyone else they're just another source of calories and sugar. Drinks naturally high in sugar like 100% fruit juices are also featured. While juice often contains healthful nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals, it should also be limited as it contains just as much sugar, though from naturally occurring fruit sugars, and calories as soft drinks. Sugary drinks and health. When it comes to ranking beverages best for our health, sugary drinks fall at the bottom of the list because they provide so many calories and virtually no other nutrients. People who drink sugary beverages do not feel as full as if they had eaten the same calories from solid food, and research indicates they also don't compensate for the high caloric content of these beverages by eating less food. 4. The average can of sugar-sweetened soda or fruit punch provides about 150 calories, almost all of them from added sugar. If you were to drink just one of these sugary drinks every day, and not cut back on calories elsewhere, you could gain up to 5 pounds in a year. Beyond weight gain, routinely drinking these sugar-loaded beverages can increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic diseases. Furthermore, higher consumption of sugary beverages has been linked with an increased risk of premature death. 5. Body weight and obesity. Diabetes, heart disease, gout, bone health, liver cancer, mortality, sugary drink supersizing and the obesity epidemic. There is sufficient scientific evidence that decreasing sugar-sweetened beverage consumption will reduce the prevalence of obesity and obesity-related diseases. 29. Unfortunately, sugary beverages are a regular drink of choice for millions around the world, and a major contributor to the obesity epidemic. Pouring sugary beverage into glass. Compounding the problem is that sugary drink portion sizes have risen dramatically over the past 40 years, leading to increased consumption among children and adults. Before the 1950s, standard soft drink bottles were 6.5 ounces. In the 1950s, soft drink makers introduced larger sizes, including the 12-ounce can, which became widely available in 1960. 30. By the early 1990s, 20-ounce plastic bottles became the norm. 31. Today, contour-shaped plastic bottles are available in even larger sizes, such as 1 liter. In the 1970s, sugary drinks made up about 4% of U.S. daily calorie intake. By 2001, that had risen to about 9%. 32. Children and youth in the U.S. averaged 224 calories per day from sugary beverages in 1999 to 2004, nearly 11% of their daily calorie intake. 33. From 1989 to 2008, calories from sugary beverages increased by 60% in children ages 6 to 11, from 130 to 209 calories per day, and the percentage of children consuming them rose from 79% to 91%. 34. In 2005, sugary drinks, soda, energy, sports drinks, were the top calorie source in teens' diets, 226 calories per day, beating out pizza, 213 calories per day. 2. Although consumption of sugary drinks in the U.S. has decreased in the past decade, 35, half of the population consumes sugary drinks on a given day. 1 in 4 people get at least 200 calories from such drinks, and 5% get at least 567 calories, equivalent to 4 cans of soda. 36. These intake levels exceed dietary recommendations for consuming no more than 10% of total daily calories from added sugar. 37. Globally, and in developing countries in particular, sugary drink consumption is rising dramatically due to widespread urbanization and beverage marketing. 3. The role of sugary drink marketing. Soda advertisement. Beverage companies spend billions of dollars marketing sugary drinks, yet generally rebuff suggestions that its products and marketing tactics play any role in the obesity epidemic. 38. In 2013, Coca-Cola launched an anti-obesity advertisement recognizing that sweetened soda and many other foods and drinks have contributed to the obesity epidemic. The company advertised its wide array of calorie-free beverages and encouraged individuals to take responsibility for their own drink choices and weight. Responses to the advertisement were mixed, with many experts calling it misleading and inaccurate in stating the health dangers of soda. Adding to the confusion, studies funded by the beverage industry are 4 to 8 times more likely to show a finding favorable to industry than independently funded studies. 39. It's also important to note that a significant portion of sugary drink marketing is typically aimed directly at children and adolescents. 40. A 2019 analysis by the Yukon Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity found that kids ages 2 to 11 saw twice as many ads for sugary drinks than for other beverages, and they also saw 4 times as many ads for certain drinks than adults did. 41. Researchers also analyzed nearly 70 children's drinks, those marketed to parents and or directly to children, and found that sweetened drinks contributed 62% of children's drink sales in 2018, including $1.2 billion in fruit drinks, 90% of children's sweetened drink sales, and $146 million in flavored, sweetened water sales. Cutting back on sugary drinks. When it comes to our health, it's clear that sugary drinks should be avoided. There is a range of healthier beverages that can be consumed in their place, with water being the top option. Of course, if you're a frequent soda drinker, this is easier said than done. If it's the carbonation you like, give sparkling water a try. If the taste is too bland, try a naturally flavored sparkling water. If that's still too much of a jump, add a splash of juice, sliced citrus, or even some fresh herbs. You can do this with homebrewed tea as well, like this sparkling iced tea with lemon, cucumber, and mint. What about diet sodas or other drinks with low-calorie sweeteners? Low-calorie sweeteners, LCS, are sweeteners that contain few to no calories but have a higher intensity of sweetness per gram than sweeteners with calories. These include artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame and sucralose, as well as extracts from plants like steviol glycosides and monk fruit. Beverages containing LCS sometimes carry the label sugar-free or diet. The health effects of LCS are inconclusive, with research showing mixed findings. A 2018 scientific advisory by the American Heart Association and American Diabetes Association noted that further research on the effects of LCS beverages on weight control, cardiometabolic risk factors, and risk of cardiovascular disease and other chronic diseases is needed. That said, they also note that for adults who are regular high consumers of sugary drinks, LCS beverages may be a useful temporary replacement strategy to reduce intake of sugary drinks. Action beyond the individual level. Warning against drinking sugary beverages. Reducing our preference for sweet beverages will require concerted action on several levels, from creative food scientists and marketers in the beverage industry, as well as from individual consumers and families, schools and worksites, and state and federal government. We must work together toward this worthy and urgent cause, alleviating the cost and the burden of chronic diseases associated with the obesity and diabetes epidemics in the U.S. and around the world. Fortunately, sugary drinks are a growing topic in policy discussions both nationally and internationally. Learn more about how different stakeholders can take action against sugary drinks. Sports drinks. Blue, orange, red, and yellow-colored sports drinks on ice. Sports drinks are advertised to replenish glucose, fluids, and electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, lost during strenuous exercise, as well as to enhance endurance. 1. Some brands also contain B vitamins associated with increased energy, not to be confused with energy drinks, which are a different product entirely. Sports drinks contain carbohydrate in the form of sugar, example glucose, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, or contain no sugar and are flavored instead with low-calorie sweeteners. The specific amount of sugar and electrolytes in sports drinks is intended to allow for quick hydration and absorption. This type of nutrient depletion generally occurs only with high-intensity exercise that lasts an hour or more. For the non-athlete, a sports beverage is just another sugary drink. Sports drinks and health. Research has shown benefit of sports drinks in adult athletes, though not conclusive, as some studies show no benefit, but research in children is lacking. 2. Children sweat at highly variable rates, so it is more difficult to establish an amount of exercise time that the drinks may be useful. 1. However, with monitoring by coaches or parents, providing these drinks to children and adolescents who are exercising vigorously for more than 60 minutes may help to prevent dehydration. For children who are engaged in routine or play-based physical activity, these drinks are usually unnecessary. 1. Estimates show that sports drinks comprise about 26% of total sugar-sweetened beverage intake in adolescents. 2. Sports drinks contain less sugar than soda and energy drinks, but still contain simple sugars. For example, a nutritional comparison shows that a 12-ounce cola drink contains about 39 grams of sugar, compared with 21 grams of sugar in a popular sports drinks. Drinking too many of these, especially when not performing vigorous exercise, can increase the risk of overweight/obesity and other health problems such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and gout. There is also a risk of dental caries. A study following more than 4,100 females and 3,400 males for 7 years as part of the Growing Up Today Study 2 found that the more frequently sports beverages were consumed, the greater the association with an increased body mass index leading to overweight/obesity, especially in boys. 2. The authors cited endorsements of the drinks by sports celebrities as a strong influencer in young male athletes. The drinks may also be perceived as healthy because they are allowed to be sold in schools and sporting events, so may be consumed in excess. Bottom line: water that is calorie-free and accessible without cost to most people is the beverage of choice taken with and between meals. A sports drink may be used by people engaging in exercise of vigorous intensity for more than 1 hour, especially if sweating heavily. Perhaps of greater importance in athletes of any age, but especially youth, is to encourage a balanced diet, snacks as needed, and adequate water that will best enhance physical and mental performance. Pediatricians should discuss the use of sports drinks with their young patients and parents to ensure that all are aware of the health risks, and if used, are monitored carefully. 3. Energy drinks. Energy drink can. Plain water is the best hydrating beverage for most people, but sports and energy drinks are advertised to appeal to those who exercise or need a boost of energy to get through the day. Though sometimes confused with sports beverages, energy drinks are a different product entirely. They are marketed to increase alertness and energy levels, containing significant amounts of caffeine and as much or more sugar as in soda. Many energy drinks pack about 200 milligrams of caffeine, the amount in 2 cups of brewed coffee. Other substances purported to increase energy may be added, like B vitamins and herbs such as ginseng and guarana. Most concerning is a lack of regulation about the safety of these drinks, as well as aggressive marketing tactics geared toward adolescents. 1. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that in 2007, 1,145 adolescents ages 12 to 17 went to the emergency room for an energy drink-related emergency. In 2011 that number climbed to 1,499. 2. After water, sugar is the main ingredient in energy drinks. A nutritional comparison shows that a 12-ounce cola drink contains about 39 grams of sugar, 41 grams of sugar in an energy drink. Research has found that consuming high-sugar drinks of any kind can lead to weight gain and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and gout. Because of the amount of sugar and stimulant ingredients, there is concern that these beverages may not be helpful, and even worse, harmful to adolescents and people with certain health conditions. Energy drinks and health. Sipping a beverage that offers quick energy may appeal to people who feel fatigued or who believe the caffeine can provide an edge when exercising or playing competitive sports. Although statements on the websites of energy drinks warn that these beverages may not be suitable for children, youth are among their largest consumers. An energy drink may be used by adolescents or college students cramming for exams through the night, or by a young athlete before an important game. While it is true that some controlled trials have shown temporary improved alertness and reversal of fatigue after taking energy drinks, as well as enhanced physical performance in young athletes, the majority of studies show an association with negative health effects. These include increased stress, aggressive behaviors like fighting, alcohol/cigarette abuse, increased blood pressure, increased risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes, poor sleep quality, and stomach irritation. 1. A typical energy drink may contain the following: carbonated water, around 40 grams of sugar, from sucrose and or glucose, 160 milligrams or more of caffeine, artificial sweetener, and herbs/substances associated with mental alertness and performance but that lack scientific evidence with controlled trials: taurine, Panax ginseng root extract, L-carnitine, L-tartarate, guarana seed extract, B vitamins. Special concerns with energy drinks. Amplified negative health effects in adolescents. Children and teens may experience heightened effects from the high amounts of caffeine, added sugars including high fructose corn syrup, low-calorie sweeteners, and herbal stimulants, partly due to their smaller body size. 3. Marketing tactics towards youth. Estimates show more than a 240% increase in U.S. and worldwide sales of energy drinks. It is a $21 billion industry, with marketing campaigns targeting youth and being sold in places that are easily accessed by this age group. 4. Youth are exposed to energy drink advertising on children's websites, computer games, television, supermarkets, and sporting events. 5. Research has shown that adolescents lack maturity in key areas of the brain and are more likely to engage in risk-taking behavior, making them vulnerable to risky behaviors sometimes portrayed in energy drink marketing. Youth are attracted to energy drinks due to effective marketing, influence from peers, and lack of knowledge about their potential harmful effects. 4. Negative health outcomes. Emerging evidence has linked energy drink consumption with negative health consequences in youth like risk-seeking behaviors, poor mental health, adverse cardiovascular effects, and metabolic, renal, or dental problems. 1. Excessive caffeine. Too much caffeine from any beverage, particularly when several are taken in one day in sensitive individuals, can lead to anxiety, insomnia, heart problems like irregular heartbeat and elevated blood pressure, and in rare cases seizures or cardiac arrest. Some energy drinks may contain as much as 500 milligrams per can, the amount in 14 cans of cola. 4.6. High sugar content. Because of the excessive sugar content in some energy drinks, they carry the same health risks associated with other sugar-sweetened beverages. See sugary drinks. Dangers with alcohol. A greater danger is introduced if energy drinks are combined with alcohol, a trend largely seen in underage drinkers and associated with binge drinking. Studies suggest that drinking this type of cocktail leads to a greater alcohol intake than if just drinking alcohol alone. This may be because energy drinks increase alertness that masks the signs of inebriation, leading one to believe they can consume even more alcohol. 1. In case reports, high consumption of energy drinks, especially when mixed with alcohol, has been linked to adverse cardiovascular, psychological, and neurologic events, including fatal events. 2. Lack of regulation. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, does not regulate energy drinks but enforces a caffeine limit of 71 mg per 12 ounces of soda. Energy drinks typically contain about 120 mg per 12 ounces. However, energy drink manufacturers may choose to classify their product as a supplement to sidestep the caffeine limit. For companies that classify their energy drinks as beverages, the American Beverage Association published voluntary guidelines that advise accurate listings of caffeine content, restriction of marketing to children, and reporting of adverse events to the FDA. However, compliance to these guidelines has been found to be low. 1. Athletic performance. Caffeine is the primary ingredient in energy drinks shown in adults to enhance physical performance by increasing endurance and strength, improving reaction time, and delaying fatigue, though the effects are highly variable among persons. 6. These effects have not been studied in children and adolescents. There is a risk of caffeine abuse or toxicity in youth, so the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends a limit of less than 100 mg caffeine daily for ages 12 to 18 years. 1. The International Society of Sports Nutrition, ISSN, issued a position statement on energy drinks after analyzing their safety and efficacy. 8. They concluded that consuming energy drinks 10 to 60 minutes before exercise can improve mental focus, alertness, anaerobic performance, and endurance in adults, largely through the effects of caffeine. However, other ingredients in these drinks require more study to demonstrate their safety and effects on performance. ISSN cautioned that higher-calorie energy drinks can lead to weight gain, and that their high glycemic load could negatively affect blood glucose and insulin levels. They discouraged use of energy drinks for children and adolescents unless under careful parental monitoring, and for people with diabetes or cardiovascular disease who could be negatively affected by the stimulant ingredients. The American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Nutrition and the Council on Sports Medicine and Fitness encourage pediatric health care providers to discourage the use of and discuss potential health risks of stimulant ingredients in energy drinks with youth and parents, and to limit or avoid sugar-sweetened beverages of any kind in youth due to risk of excessive calorie intake and weight gain, as well as dental erosion. 7. Bottom line. Water that is calorie-free and accessible without cost to most people is the beverage of choice taken with and between meals. Energy drinks are a source of caffeine that people may choose as an alternative to coffee or tea. However, they also contain high amounts of sugar, vitamins, and herbs that may not be necessary for the average person. Energy drinks can pose a health risk in vulnerable groups including children, teenagers, pregnant women, and those with medical conditions like diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Adults who choose to consume energy drinks should check the label for caffeine content and avoid high consumption, over 200 mg of caffeine per drink. Consumption in combination with alcohol should be avoided. 9. Pediatricians should discuss the use of energy drinks with their young patients and parents to ensure that all are aware of the health risks, and if used, are monitored carefully. 7. Public health concerns, sugary drinks. Poster describing what beverages to drink and not to drink. Americans consume on average more than 200 calories each day from sugary drinks, 58, 59, 4 times what they consumed in 1965, 60, and strong evidence indicates that our rising thirst for liquid candy has been a major contributor to the obesity and diabetes epidemics. 41, 46, 52-54, 61. Taking action against sugary drinks. Research shows that sugary drinks are one of the major determinants of obesity and diabetes, and emerging evidence indicates that high consumption of sugary drinks increases the risk for heart disease, the #1 killer of men and women in the U.S. Reducing our preference for sweet beverages will require concerted action on several levels, from creative food scientists and marketers in the beverage industry, as well as from individual consumers and families, schools and worksites, and state and federal government. We must work together toward this worthy and urgent cause, alleviating the cost and the burden of chronic diseases associated with the obesity and diabetes epidemics in the United States. Here are steps that each of these groups can take to address the issue. Beverage manufacturers create beverages that have much less sugar. Beverage manufacturers can make it easier for everyone to drink more healthfully by creating beverages that are less sweet. A good target: beverages that have no more than 1 gram of sugar per ounce, and are free of non-caloric sweeteners, such as sucralose, aspartame, or stevia. This is about 70% less sugar than a typical soft drink. We also encourage beverage manufacturers to offer smaller, 8-ounce, single-serving bottles of sugary drinks, and encourage their sales channels to stock these smaller-sized bottles. If you read the fine print on the nutrition facts label, you'll see that a standard serving of soft drink is 8 ounces, and that each 20-ounce bottle contains 2.5 servings. Individuals, make healthy drinking your personal priority. Start by choosing beverages with few or no calories. Water is best. You can also ask food companies to make sugar-reduced beverages by calling their customer service numbers or sending them a message on their website comment forms. Ask schools and workplaces to offer filtered water or functioning water fountains. Ask your local stores, schools, and workplaces to carry 8-ounce or 12-ounce containers of sugary drinks to make it easier for you to choose a smaller serving. It is also wise to wean yourself off of artificial sweeteners because of the unanswered questions about the relationship between diet drinks and obesity. Food shoppers for the family, don't stock sugary drinks at home. Nationwide data show that children and teens drink most of their sugary calories at home, so parents can help kids cut back by not stocking soda, fruit punch, or other sugary drinks in the house, and making them an occasional treat rather than a daily beverage. Schools and workplaces offer students and workers several healthy beverage choices. Healthy choices for school and workplaces include water and reduced sugar beverages, as well as single-serving or 12-ounce containers. Schools and workplaces should also make sure that they have functioning water fountains or filtered water available. Government, require better labeling on sugary drinks and scrap sugar subsidies. The FDA should consider requiring companies to list the number of calories per bottle or can, not per serving, on the front of beverage containers. It should also consider creating a new labeling category for low-sugar beverages. Under current labeling regulations, a beverage can be marketed as reduced sugar if it contains 25% fewer calories than the standard version of that beverage. 62. A better threshold for low-sugar beverages would be 1 gram of sugar per ounce, which is about 70% less sugar than a typical soft drink. Sugar-added beverages with more than 50 calories in an 8-ounce serving should carry a warning label about obesity and diabetes. Government, implement a soda tax. Sugared beverages are categorized as food under the food stamp program and thus not taxed in some states. Yale researcher Kelly Brownell makes a strong argument for taxing sugary drinks in the New England Journal of Medicine. 63. Since sugared beverages carry no nutritional value and pose health risks to a consumer, many public health advocates have argued that it is logical to tax them like cigarettes or alcohol. Government, regulation of marketing to children. Regulating advertising of sugary drinks targeted towards children, a vulnerable population, through television, the internet or other media is an important strategy in reducing consumption. U.S. initiatives to ban sugary beverages. New York City. In June of 2012, Mayor Michael Bloomberg of New York City proposed a ban on drinks sweetened with sugar that contain more than 25 calories per 8 fluid ounces. The ban would impact supersized sodas larger than 16 ounces. The mayor cited the staggering rates of obesity in his proposed ban. Many public health officials and health professionals supported the mayor on his bold stand against soda, a major contributor to obesity. Others, however, argued that individuals must take personal responsibility for their beverage choices and their health, and that regulation would be ineffective because large quantities of soda could still be purchased in a few small containers, and the soda ban would not impact all vendors. For example, since the ban would only apply to movie theaters, fast food establishments, and food trucks, a consumer could still purchase an oversized soda at any food mart or grocery store. Over the course of the summer and fall of 2012, the debate about Bloomberg's soda ban raged on. In July, protesters of the ban marched, many while sipping large sodas, in City Hall Park. New York City's Board of Health approved Bloomberg's plan, and the new rules were set to take effect in March of 2013, but in the meantime the beverage industry and many restaurant owners filed a lawsuit. The proposed law was subsequently struck down in court in March 2013, and Mayor Bloomberg's subsequent appeal was rejected by a state appeals courts on July 30, 2013. The large sugary drink ban and subsequent debate raises many important public health questions surrounding access to foods and drinks that have been proven to increase obesity and disease risk. Skeptics remain wary that bans such as Bloomberg's take away an individual's right to make personal diet-related decisions. Some believe that taking away this right may actually backfire by drawing excess attention to unhealthy items like large sodas and spurring a purchasing spree before they are possibly taken away. Despite this opposition, there may be significant health benefits to limiting the sale of large sugary drinks. Sugar-sweetened beverages are associated with obesity and many related health risks such as type 2 diabetes. New research also suggests that consuming sugar-sweetened beverages also amplifies the genetic risk of obesity. We support bans like this because the obesity epidemic causes serious health consequences to individuals and places a large burden, both socially and economically, on aspects of our society such as healthcare. By limiting access to foods and drinks that have been proven to increase obesity and disease risk, individual consumers may be less likely to purchase these items and may instead shift towards healthier foods and drinks. Boston. In a move to trim Boston's rising obesity rates, Mayor Thomas Menino banned the sale and advertising of sugary drinks from city-owned buildings and city-sponsored events. The executive order, signed in 2011, calls for city departments to phase out regular sodas, sports drinks, and other high-sugar beverages from their vending machines, cafeterias, and concessions. 64. In their place, the city will offer healthier beverage options, among them, water, flavored seltzer, unsweetened coffee and tea, and diet drinks. Sugary drink marketing, from logos on vending machines to banners at events, will also be barred. Boston, which barred soda and junk food from public school vending machines in 2004, is not alone in its broader beverage ban effort. Boston's Carney Hospital also announced in 2011 that it would ban high-sugar beverages from hospital grounds, making it the first hospital in the city to do so. 65. Cleveland Clinic banned high-sugar drinks from its vending machines and cafeterias in August 2010. 66. San Francisco, 67, Los Angeles County, 68, and other cities have also curtailed sugary drink sales on municipal property. The goal of these bans is to make healthy drinks easy choices and to counter the billions of dollars beverage manufacturers spend each year on soft drink marketing. That's just the type of environmental support Americans need to curb their taste for sugar-loaded drinks, public health experts say, and in turn, potentially curb the obesity epidemic. There is abundant evidence that the huge increase in soda consumption in the past 40 years is the most important single factor behind America's obesity epidemic, says Dr. Walter Willett, chair of the Department of Nutrition at Harvard School of Public Health, who joined Mayor Menino at the soda ban's announcement. These steps will greatly assist in creating a new social norm, in which healthier beverages are the preferred choice. The city has also unveiled a traffic light-style promotional campaign to help consumers choose healthier beverages based on their sugar and nutrient content. The campaign, which groups beverages into red, limit, yellow, drink occasionally, and green, best choice, categories, is similar to the How Sweet Is It beverage guidelines developed by the Harvard School of Public Health's Department of Nutrition in 2009. See Boston's traffic light brochure and poster on how to choose healthy beverages. Low-calorie sweeteners. Sugar-free label on a can of soda. The health effects of low-calorie/artificial sweeteners are inconclusive, with research showing mixed findings. Low-calorie sweeteners, LCS, are sweeteners that contain few to no calories but have a higher intensity of sweetness per gram than sweeteners with calories, like table sugar, fruit juice concentrates, and corn syrups. Other names for LCS are non-nutritive sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, sugar substitutes, and high-intensity sweeteners. LCS are found in many beverages and foods like frozen desserts, yogurt, candies, baked goods, chewing gum, breakfast cereals, gelatins, and puddings. Foods and beverages containing LCS sometimes carry the label sugar-free or diet. Some LCS can be used as general-purpose sweeteners. Because LCS are many times sweeter than table sugar, they can be used in smaller amounts to achieve the same level of sweetness as sugar. People may use LCS in place of sugar to consume fewer calories or less sugar, or to better control their blood glucose if they have diabetes or prediabetes. There are 6 LCS approved as food additives by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. 1. Numerous studies have been conducted on each type to identify possible toxic effects. They are all sweeter than table sugar, sucrose, but contain few or no calories. They include 2 other LCS are permitted for specific conditions of use in the food supply through the FDA SGRA, generally recognized as safe, notification program. Certain steviol glycosides, which come from the South American stevia plant, Stevia rebaudiana. Steviol glycosides are found in foods and beverages in the U.S. under the names rebaudioside A, or Reb-A, stevioside, rebaudioside D, or steviol glycoside mixtures that contain rebaudioside A and or stevioside as the main ingredients. Commercial brand names include Truvia registered and Purevia registered. At 200 to 400 times sweeter than sugar, the acceptable daily intake is 9 packets daily. Stevia leaf and unrefined stevia extracts are not considered GRA and are not allowed in the U.S. for use as sweeteners. Monk fruit, also known as Luohongua or Serratia grosvenoriae swingle fruit extract, SGFE, comes from a plant native to southern China. Monk fruit is 100 to 250 times sweeter than sugar. An acceptable daily intake has not yet been determined. Sugar alcohols. Sugar alcohols, or polyols, are not classified as LCS but have slightly less calories than table sugar. The sweetness of sugar alcohols varies from 25 to 100% as sweet as sugar. They do not promote tooth decay or cause sharp rises in blood glucose. Examples are sorbitol, xylitol, lactitol, mannitol, erythritol, and maltitol. They are found in sugar-free candies, cookies, ice cream, beverages, and chewing gums. They are also used in toothpastes and medicines like cough syrups. In some people, eating high quantities of certain sugar alcohols can cause loose stools or diarrhea. They are absorbed slowly and may cause extra water to be drawn into the intestines. 2. With continued use, people may improve their tolerance. More research is needed on the longer-term use of sugar alcohols. An observational 3-year study found an association between erythritol as an added sweetener and cardiovascular disease, CVD, events, such as stroke and heart attack, in patients with heart disease or risk factors for CVD, example, diabetes, high blood pressure. 3. When comparing patients with the lowest and highest blood levels of erythritol, the latter had twice the risk of developing a CVD event. It is noted that the researchers only checked blood erythritol once at the start of the study. They further investigated with a separate lab study, and found that exposing human platelets to erythritol increased the risk of blood clot formation. Erythritol occurs naturally in small amounts in fruits, wine, and beer. But the amount of erythritol used as an additive in low-calorie beverages, ice cream, chewing gums, and candies is much higher. Low-calorie sweeteners and health. The health effects of LCS are inconclusive, with research showing mixed findings. Research is also looking at potential differences in effects from the various types of LCS. The following reviews research specific to LCS beverages. A large observational study of French women showed that both sugar-sweetened beverages, SSBs, and LCS beverages were linked with an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. 4. The authors noted that a high intake of SSBs has been associated with weight gain, possibly due to lower satiety and increased blood sugar and insulin levels, leading to insulin resistance. LCS beverages may also cause weight gain by stimulating appetite and a sweet preference in some people. With observational studies, it should be noted that the theory of reverse causation is also possible. For example, when people who are overweight or have prediabetes begin drinking LCS beverages to improve their blood sugar control, which produces a false association between higher LCS beverage intake and future risk of developing diabetes. Reverse causation may explain the finding from a meta-analysis of 17 cohort studies showing an 18% higher incidence of type 2 diabetes with SSBs and 25% higher incidence with LCS beverages, compared with no intake of these drinks. 5. In a detailed analysis of data from the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, the positive association observed between LCS beverage intake and type 2 diabetes incidence was largely explained by higher baseline BMI and metabolic conditions, which might have led to increased use of LCS beverages in the first place. 6. In 3 large prospective cohort studies of U.S. men and women, intake of SSBs was associated with an average 3-pound weight gain within each 4-year time period. Substituting the same amount of SSBs with water or LCS beverages was associated with less weight gain, about 1 pound, within each 4-year time span. 7. For adults trying to wean themselves from sugary soda, diet soda is a possible short-term substitute, best used in small amounts over a short period of time. For children, the long-term effects of consuming LCS beverages are unknown, so it's best for kids to limit their intake. 8. An acceptable daily intake is the maximum amount of a substance that can be consumed daily over the course of a person's lifetime with no appreciable health risk, and is based on the highest intake that does not lead to observable adverse effects. Calculations are based on a 132-pound individual. People with a rare hereditary disease known as phenylketonuria, PKU, have difficulty breaking down phenylalanine, a component of aspartame, and should limit their intake of phenylalanine from all sources, including aspartame. The inclusion of brand names on this list is for reference only and does not constitute an endorsement. The nutrition source does not endorse specific brands. Weight control. Long-term observational studies show that regular consumption of LCS beverages reduces calorie intake and promotes less weight gain or weight maintenance, but other research shows no effect, and some studies even show weight gain. 9. Randomized controlled trials also show mixed findings, although most have shown a modest reduction in weight. 10. Most of these studies are short-term with a small number of participants, making it difficult to provide definitive conclusions on LCS beverages and weight control. Different comparisons among studies may also produce different results. For example, was LCS beverage intake being compared with SSBs, juice, or water? The human brain responds to sweetness with signals to eat more. By providing a sweet taste without any calories, however, LCS beverages may cause us to crave more sweet foods and drinks, which can add up to excess calories. Although hypothetical and not proven in human studies, research is actively looking at proposed mechanisms of LCS beverages that may affect appetite and weight. Do repeated exposures to the sweet taste of LCS promote a preference for sweets in the diet? Does the sweet taste of LCS stimulate an insulin response even though blood glucose does not change, leading to an increased appetite and food intake? If LCS beverages, as compared with SSBs, do not release hormones in the stomach that signal satisfaction, may a person increase their food intake due to hunger? Animal studies have shown that LCS can change gut microbiota, leading to weight gain and increased blood glucose levels. Would a similar effect be found in human studies? At the University of California, San Diego, researchers performed functional MRI scans as volunteers took small sips of water sweetened with sugar or sucralose. Sugar activated regions of the brain involved in food reward, while sucralose didn't. 11. It is possible, the authors say, that sucralose may not fully satisfy a desire for natural caloric sweet ingestion. So, while sugar signals a positive feeling of reward, LCS may not be an effective way to manage a craving for sweets. LCS and cancer? Scientific advisory. A 2011 statement from the American Heart Association and American Diabetes Association concluded that when used judiciously, non-nutritive sweeteners, including low-calorie sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, and non-caloric sweeteners, might help with weight loss or control, and could also have beneficial metabolic effects. The statement also points out, however, that these potential benefits will not be fully realized if there is a compensatory increase in energy intake from other sources, ultimately saying that at this time there is insufficient data to make a conclusive determination about using non-nutritive sweeteners. More research is needed. 18. The American Heart Association and American Diabetes Association followed this with a 2018 scientific advisory specific to LCS beverages and cardiometabolic health. 8. The report cited the decline in consumption of both SSBs and LCS beverages in the United States, suggesting that it is possible to reduce SSBs without necessarily increasing LCS beverage intake. The advisory outlined the following summary points. Children should not drink LCS beverages in the long term because of unknown effects. If there is a potential increased risk in adults of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular events with diet beverage intake, the risk could be heightened in a child due to their smaller body size and earlier exposure. For adults who are regular high consumers of SSBs, LCS beverages may be a useful temporary replacement strategy to reduce intake of SSBs. This may be particularly helpful for those who are used to a sweet-tasting beverage and for whom water, at least initially, is an undesirable option. Alternatives to LCS beverages and SSBs, such as plain, carbonated, or unsweetened flavored waters, should be encouraged for all. The potential benefits from LCS beverages as replacements for SSBs will not be fully realized if their use is offset by an increase in calorie intake from other foods or beverages. Additionally, an overall healthful dietary pattern is recommended. Further research on the effects of LCS beverages on weight control, cardiometabolic risk factors, and risk of cardiovascular disease and other chronic diseases is needed.